marakabire kianda ibire Eva Health Malt Daim tubonge asamangana yichisemi aiga potas haven nigo tumanyitekiriya yibumu mwiburi otagete ase skuru iliyo mwana wagosoma nigo tubwate virasi visaine kurwa daycare playgroup PP1 PP2 na grade 1 wika grade 5 aborokia visaine babwatuba manyibwigoro rivaga risaine liyo kugoseria na boigoria boroki wabakorara ekirobaro sire chigali chobosombi amachama yokonywa na boigonko bwate tole umurubiri CBC nigo togutuka asikanisa ya pefa daraja mbili torikere email ase potashaven@gmail.com gosoto akeresime ase namba enotisano nebire isateyemo isano nemoibire isano nemoibire isano nesato inye gose enotisano nebire ibereyemo kianda isano nesato isano nebire isatu isano Potashaven, the foundation of knowledge. Oasis Specialist Hospital Kisii ensemu yukurwa obukorli guchia sabasubati barya bribu atranitie nigigo kumanya igoro yobukorli obusera burya bakurwa guchia sebare.
Tumekuwa na majadiliano mengi kuhusu hali yao ya afya wanapokuwa wajawazito, punde tu wanapogundua kuwa wako wajawazito na wanapoendelea hadi wakati wa kujifungua. Tumeongelea masuala kadhaa kama vile lishe bora, afya ya mama, umuhimu wa kuja kwenye kliniki, umuhimu wa kujua vipimo vyako vya kliniki unapokuwa mjamzito.
Ngukumanya bare iguru yesabari ya antenatal postnatal care iguru yindagire koyego mwana gose nutrition eye checkup pelvic exercises na boigo general consultation.
Tuko na pediatrician, tuko na gynecologist na general doctors na nurses ambayo watakuwa ready kuwasaidia kwa hiyo safari ya ujauzito.
Masomo twanyorire yeng'ento wansira buno ko chate sabari yo konyoro oyo ko gogori omwana kwenda nere sabari yo simbaka buno go kini omwana oyo
ni atore NHIF card nige ukava korwa maternity mbaka ikero kwenda nyumba
batariringa kichindi chonsi imeyumo chukisi angene sukuru yo kwegelia iguru y'ububwenya ya KMTC gosoba kirisimi ase namba enotisano noibire eyemo marakabire inyeyemo enotisano isate noti. Oasis Health, together for better.
Maya techi basanguru kugira mareta mange sana ekeboko orwenyi ndo amagomba tunda chinyinga karangeri omwana omwabo bono chintunda chinyinge make use obuyo mutakeire skuru chegwiru abana matakeire bitabu muntu ngwe bware chiri buga ikomi kera rituko muntu ngwe bware 10,000 na mwiso bwe week 1200 ko pocket wese ko wali my friend ayenga yugo tikara okobwa na kwomogoko waye igwa ko genda sesimi yao yako
genda say baby business number 888090 igoriyoka wakoda bagadai
okubeka Emayie moyoka unokubeka chintunda chinyinge chance yao yobugwi igere iguru chintunda chinyinga karangeri omwana omwabo bono chintunda chinyinge make use
egosoriye yokwebwere nenko nigo yanchire ni kiombe ya PCLB ni namba ya 002660 egosoriye ni yabantu bari myaka 13 guche igoro. Uniforms and Sports Center nigo bakoroshia na koonye chianga gula chi t-shirt chi round neck collar t-shirt chi sweater chi shati chimekoni mienge ni chimekoni mitambe ebitamba byukwarwa burere ne byogutubo moito chi track suit chi pajama chokorarira imipira yenkoyo neria ya netball chi soksi chi jasi chi tai chi sukuru ao na boigo nkokora bali embroidery korosya bali chisweta na boigo kubeka amaliko asichianga gose labeling nigo bagotoka asamagacho abaraka building imeyumu chukisi ejuere angine supermarket ya Shivling gusumwa kirisimi Ruth ase namba enoti isano na ibere enoti isato kianda isano na isato isano nemo enoti Peak Uniforms and Sports Center edukeyemo asokonyora chi uniforms chozi nebintu byo gukorera kigosori. Spexels Opticians abubale clinic kyagudika imeyo muchukisi nkurwa bare bokoreri ao asamangana ya maiso nako ni birore magiga yogo korenga na kumanyumu chandu.
Kwa majina naitwa Daktari Sigei, karibuni sana Spexels Opticians Kisii Town. Hapa tunapima macho tukitumia mashine za kiteknolojia za kisasa bila malipo. Tunauza miwani, frames na lenses tofauti na tunakubali kadi za bima.
Chiframe guchakira chishilingi chimia isano neiseto nemeronge tano na boigo esetingima ase chishilingi elweyemo ne chimia isano ase ofa babuate etaraera.
Milango yetu iko wazi kutoka Jumatatu mpaka Ijumaa kutoka saa 2:30 mpaka saa 11 jioni na pia Jumamosi kutoka saa 2:30 mpaka saa 10 jioni.
Nigo bare angene supermarket ya Shivling na KCB Bank imeyo muchukisi na boko bakiresimi ase namba enoti eyemo enoti isano marakabire enoti eyemo. Spexels Opticians, Goodka Clinic, macho bora kwa wote. Ndizi TV, ubwansu bw'omugusi.
Nokogena waito mancho murigere runa nogendrete kwego kyanene oso aso kubwate miroberio sigitaseni kya Ndizi TV nabwo obwansu bwo mugusi cyaragire kinse sato cyabo n'umugoroba ekaroto kwariga nimeye manye Jumatato ere to kumanya unana yato kwariga neretie asenchira ere yobwikirano
mwancho murigere bono hasa yo monenda mangeli tukuliana na mangabereka okolekana himene isiko yerongo rwoguse abalike baitogoro chingongo chonsi aseri boni gowere bakonyaligia aso kuchikonya sansa murana asenchira yobwikirano bona bakondera gotobotia goetera nsemeri mtandao nsema ya Facebook Ndizi TV News Digital na biga nsemeri ya YouTube na bokotera buna Ndizi TV News
aso mtandao Twitter na bokoti Twitter @Ndizi TV News bega na bogosange kirengerero kyau na intwe wetera se namba era se screen yawo iro togendere gosanga na boigo kwemanyia amangiri tangani kegimati gaturanyo gati harto kwariganirite asenchira ere yobwenge
that promised to lessen the burden of the so-called hustlers, Mama Mboga, watu wa mjengo, can turn his back so soon on the same people.
Nigo mwato ngene tibuna saranere na tokonye buna intwaba Kenya korenda wono mwauncho kiro murebeka magiodi emrera moro dingo mocheri bottom up.
Chairperson wa lands ni Mheshimiwa Nyamoko, ndio chairman wa lands. Tunataka kumwambia hivi, ile deal anafanya na Simba Arati kupeana Keroka Town kwenda Kisii County, watu wa Nyamira watamsamea.
Abaye musiye kurase county ya Nyamira bakurire bagotuma kambali ko chikuwanchira nensemo ya Keroka kubwato ko gochase county ya Kisii mubungo North Mugranga Josh Nyamoko omochiwe.
Wa kanisa ni jambo ambalo linafuatwa kisheria. Lazima kutolewe ilani notice, lazima wale ambao ile kanisa ije ijitetee, ipatikane na hatia, kisha iweze kufungwa.
Abaegeri bayo murandu we kanisa ya New Life Ezekiel Yodero bamochire kegambera sogo siekwa we kanisa yo.
Asabya monenda mange bono moncho murigereria hisaranso kibono tokomanya senchera yobo ikiranu inyirabono ritoko bwateranere gwetera somona wimanyererio igakorokwa Joshua Auta.
Nchire tari anengoro kwa Everline Osero.
Keterane Vincent Onyancha.
Tukwarigani bono tokomanye asenchera ere yobekirane ka togo chakira ase county ya Nyamira keretware na okwemurungania kwa bere gokororokana ase abantu bali abamenyatene binyinyi byenyamore Gusii National Empowerment Network of People Living with HIV and AIDS askire bagoteona nigo babere bakonganywa kurwa se konye bakonyorera mariogo
bakora wanu murayo bomanyekente buna Evans sawe hamona abande nigo bamochire serikali ya county ya Nyamira babona bwatani banda soko banganya kurwa sema yabo asaboni ko batebere buna n'ikikobero mu cyando asabange bare batamanyeti ikiyagera banganyugwa nakoganiye county ya Nyamira ko barigire nakobenyura anenekero bagendretse go chandwa gwetera sebinyi binyamoreo nagote buna inencheremo yoko banengeta.
Lakini ombekemo kya getarigia kiserikali gikorukia malin kikacha gikatoroseria chirumu chiarenga asebune corridor
kame challenge twatwarire neria tokurusi kwase arenge privacy
one karatwa nyorete ngana ndi twarusi wase konye turi comfortable toiru bono chimuina stobruka ine chi department shinde abantu baito babere bakorora mikabuna nje bono muno murai na nyori chisimba kanta ikorara chinyinge
wana tuwebe tuamanya kurusi wo toiru wase asa wizi wote tutakorti botaikobiseka
Jusaiza number of youths hawachukui dawa. I personally am a clinician, singeenda kuchukua dawa huko kwenye wametu expose juu nitakutana na my fellow colleagues.
Sisi tuko huko tuhakikishe watu life yao inaendelea vizuri, sio kukufa. Watu wetu sasa wakiwachwa vile wakikuwa defaulters itapita sasa magonjwa tegemezi yataongezeka na mwishowe watu wetu watakufa. Infection itakuwa juu na vile ilikuwa imeanza kurudi chini tena itarudi juu. Magonjwa tegemezi yataongezeka. Kwa hivyo tunaomba administration iangalie hilo jambo kwa haraka kabla watu wetu wataotea sana. Kwa hivyo tunaomba administration ifanye jambo.
Togotikana nayo nigo abarai kurwase county ya Nyamira babere bakumugikiria umuchumbe o North Mogrango Josh Nyamoko anene kubwatikana na magendro ase ensemeyo na ne county ya Nyamira.
Kolengana na wa MC kurwase county ya Nyamira nigo batebire buna omo bunge ya North Mogrango Josh Nyamoko ni galigeti kubwato kensemo ya keroko gochase county ya Kisii niga wa MC obakona Tadis Nyabaro oyubona romo MC bwadi ya Kenya mona bwatani bande nigo batebire buna mbali chuwanchira na ensemo ya keroka kobanse yoboraiwe county ya Kisii.
Hanigane kiwachinga kiba kora chingwana na bamenyi korwa sensemo ya Nyaramba sibaganiria barai korwa se county ya Nyamira go chambo na gutwariri ogeri mori okoreta magendro ase county ya Nyamira humurikeito job manki na manki.
Asama tuko abwangoiga nigo engana igori oboteneneriwe county Nyamira norobebe egatie county Nyamira na Kisii yaretire okongusana na okonene.
Kisii county tubwate chi sub county kianda nkio montare migeri SMA ya moye para
aliakaroka hiyo sio vizuri. Kila mtu angalie boundary yake akae kwake.
Abarai bakora umubunge Oborabu Patrick Osero nigo bagikeirie umubunge North Mogrango Josh Nyamoko asinkwana akwanete igore county ya Nyamira.
Tutumikie watu wetu kwanza. Ntoraro buya kabisa. Ne county government yetongo kolere asina county ndichikokora.
Aya ni gakwanwa asense Nyaramba asomo bunge Oborabu Patrick Osero aigerera chi serikali chi county asogotaikirania amagenderero asichinga kichindonge ekiagera chibesa nchira tumo kurwa serikali enene.
A member of parliament from Nyamira was castigating MCAs and the county of Nyamira on issues, matters, development, blaming anybody for lack of development or development that is slow. I don't think it is fair because the National Treasury is to be blamed squarely for failed projects.
Nasaba ewodi yake abonyeruko bagano kabere elinekoleta obokoli ange asaba menyi bensemeyo.
Abonyeru population yeye muna chimbe chikucha kwatu na IBC omwaka oyo muno guchikoera iga. Tusabe ewodi yende erinde kyabonyeru tware chiwodi ibere. Nari no eno gwikira abantu kuba services erabe rais.
ensemo y'aba MCA mbasaba serikali ya kaunti kwegwa chingaki erakolera abamenyi emeremo.
Kwa wale wengine nawaambia ni mapema, ile mbio mumeanza kupeleka gavana si mbio iliyo sawa.
Asebo igo basaba barayikobeka obukoreri busyo na gukora siasa cy'omurembe. Mbasaba omurembe koba aroro asingana yorobebe ya kaunti ya Kisii na Nyamira.
Moko ndio chairman wa lands. Tunataka kumwambia hivi, ile deal anafanya na Simba Arati kupeana Keroka Town kwenda Kisii County, watu wa Nyamira watamsamea.
Kiti yato kuwa na yara maene tokore siasa tia tubeke kande miaka ne tanere mutwe ya site abasisinie
igatotuara maskani 2027 ye karara igakokole mere mubo oyo utagete chikura achigocherio na ndato tegi yakwalele ngate tsutomari
Kurwa se kaunti ya Nyamira yinko reporter ya Ndizi TV Job Maangi.
Mbia mono murikeito Job Mangi asoroboti ururikiranu korwa se kaunti ya Nyamira tokotikana nayo ni otokoira na se kaunti ya Kisii korigereria mangana rengete chisemi awasabarai au bagenderete no muroberi obugosira chisemi anene asoko bwatuka chibasari nigo mubunge bwebunge ya Kitutu chache South Anthony Kibagendi yitkolarera bagago chakia omuroberi oyo anene ase chiskuru che secondary ase bungeye
omoyogojo nigo kolekana ase skuru ya St Patrick's Mosocho awasa watani awaikirana somonyega bweri tukoria rogati yabo kurasa nsemeria yobo cheno nabaigona se wizara area yechisemi anasoko bwato gweche basare ni Anthony Kibagendi atayabuna na chikubwatana mu chinsemo chenda soko nyaragosira mangana arenge chisemi anasebunga ya Kitutu chache South
Kibagendi nane kyabuna ni gwago chia korora buna aboro kwabonsi anene bari bakurwa se chia mate chitari kwenyara babere bakonyora chibasari chira bakonya so kwegenderera bya namasomo abo muri kyoito dipo nasanya noroboti urwaso bwikirano
Elio koenekia ogukina gwekerengo kia masomo Emayie bunge ya Kitutu chache South gutoka Emayie county ya Kisii omubunge wensemeyo Anthony Kibagendi nigo bono abwatoka jibasari guchia sikuru asaumerana na aborokia abanene bechi secondary amone skuru choboroso ase skuru ya St Patrick's Mosocho.
Total tuarure 43 million shillings in Kitutu chache South this financial year. The last financial year nchirichi atigarite ime about 7-8 million na chiro chintu aruete last year na anke early in the year.
Nigo aboria barimu gutumika chibese chio asenjera endonge na gwetanga kurwa asogoseria bana kera chingaki gochia sechinka.
Igo etuguteba iga abarimu chibese chitu atumire gochia skuru banyare ko chitumia boronge. Naende etwakwanira abarimu bechi secondary mbakonya goseria bana gochichi skuru. Koru chiskuru asengencho eyungo chere affect performance at the end of the day. Nige togo teba na baru batema bakwanira abayiboli bari ke department y'abantu bagwakera kapiso moiboli batwara a payment plan onyo mwana kabwate balance let's say ya 2500 omoiboli yabekerwe target ya 500 every week ekine nege ntara anyare gwakana igo batware program elie abana baranyare gutigara skuru na abayiboli banyara gwakana school fees nebwenerete intukoru ensema ya itobuna abarai go sekoru CDF koru office yo mochumbe. We have done our part. Wono igo toko basuguba banyare go perform.
Are nayo nigamerana n'abateneneri aho gati yabo abagambi nabo igo abaobisa kurwa asensemo y'abachenu elio gotebererania chinjira aho cyokomenya okuya.
Aba chief bonsi n'aba assistant n'abantu bobisiane chi coordinator tuabarangeriga tumerane tunyare gukwanira amangana aye community amangana ye binyoro byaito igoro ya amangana ye nyamoreo HIV and AIDS creating awareness elinda abantu bamanye na kibaranyare konye kwekinga naende bali barwarete na kibaranyare koenda bachikoewa mariogo
komenta nayo nigaru okuboria gochi asabarokiwa gokoromokia ase chiskuru
toko bateiba focus ya samangana yesemi ba focus ya samangana yogosoma batiga mangana yokogendi chipigipigi batiga mang'ana yokunywa maru batiga mang'ana yokunywa chinyasore abana ba focus ya mang'ana ya semi amang'ana ya girlfriend ne boyfriend koratiga moche moike university mubwate all the freedom moike chi college mubwate freedom
boigo narua oroboti rwa benne guchia asomo wasiri wejisemia sekeli majogu kurigereria egesako kyomo Gusii
kumanya tari nchako umisekera tari gutuma chibese gocha chiskuru cyabo getutu cha south otuma go chichinsemo chinde abalimu bali ku 44,000 Gusii ninki twanyora ekininga endere kumubolia na ende ngendere komotebia na promotions cy'abalimu baito ku Gusii Kisii County na Nyamira achibeke motwe
bakebaria batanyora jibasari narueira yogoche koba entunda ekobwatia
one okonyora mbaro set mbali geti form yabo bia but the next time bago apply mbanyore number 2 mbali bali batali voters in Kitutu Chache South either mwanafunzi tali voter oyobwe university goso moiboli tali voter aga asenge njokere constituency ne ire chibese echi. There is no way to go chiko omonto isiko.
Kuripoteria egitaseni kia Ndizi TV kurua segwadi ya Bugisero egotoka Emayie bunge ya Kitutu Chache South egotoka Emayie County ya Kisii elietaria Nendipon Asanya
Mbia mono murikyo ito Dipona Asanya ase oroboti ururekirano ekele bono togenderete gotigara asa mang'ana yogosira chisemi nigo mobunge o South Mogrango e county ya Kisii Silvanus Osero abairega kwena na ebyego gochiase aborokiwa bali babeire bagokoria buya asa masomo abo
ni gobono sora tebire buna chikubwatira namune chinsemo chinde burenchire mu yokonyara gosira mangana arengede chisemi anena se bunge ya South Mogrango kwana seri tukoria Roma yokonyara gosira gati ya borokiwa baba okarabiyanene asa matemu aba amone chiskuru aho ni gosora tebire buna egangenene ase bunge ya South Mogrango na mangana arengede chisemi unomurikeito Mildred Mumanyi agotomanya
enga kichi skuru chachaka kwigorwa rero aborokigwa chimia isano na ibere abo bagusirwa no moroberio bumo jumbe o South Mogrango Silvanus Osero nigo bakanirwa school fees na boigo konyora obosemia na maigelio ao yokomenya ukwana asomoroberio okoreka sensemo ya Nyamarambe Osero nigo ababoli aborokigwa abo koromia asa masomabo
etwajire rero mangana ye yabana chenjo mubunge bwa Bagrango Bogirango ntubwate program yo gusomia abana bagweta amagisi 350 go chigoro batari kwenyara abana bweto ko basome go chakara form 1 bake university mbali gwakana nonyene somoni lakini taliyo ko basome gweka etoko tubwate mentorship program yabo mwako yo twira abana 700 abana abwekero erusa yabeire ebagocha basoma chiskuru chinyinge abande mbabugati bayiboli abande mbali ababwata bayiboli lakini abataka barangirwa alliance barangirwa Kisii school barangirwa school echinde chionse bana tugwakana efisi etamu under what we call Osero Care Club igone program ya competition na ndiyo kwa award bali ba performire bia bugate chipoint chinyinge twaye zawadi bona maambia bana nko na bali school lero twabere chicheck bagenda bonsi school basome
nigo boigo ateba abwatekerengagio kwenekia ogukina kwebirengo bya masomo ase bunge yae na sababolia aborokigwa bonsi bali batali kwenyara kubwaterana nabo bisabaye elio kwenekia buna bali goseligwa kurwa eskuru okoba yokuborwa school fees
na wakomenya tinyaruka mbako tarabobe banyore chinda tugwakare fees amwana makonyora enda so ikina kitogo chitwa bakusomia twarangeria abantu babakwanira na masomo tuwa very strict toko batebi mtoto itiko somi ngombe mtoto itikwa ko ni ngombe to somi ngombe bona lazima batiko bo ngombe basome and that is the program tubugate na bonzi banjira ndete na abayiboli balega bonzi byose na omwanjira ndete boyiko abayiboli bonzi balega babate omwana kakogosa aiga Bogirango mwana kakogosa punishment nero ikagara eviction tubugate in another 5-7 years Bogirango to twara chi doctor tubugate chi lawyer tubugate different professions to compete nenzende in terms of amasomo
ase chinga kiecho abarokigwa bakonyeka kurwa somo roberio yo nigo bakangambia mono gochase omobunge ase nonya na bamete no bolema watatigwa magega.
Nachukua fursa hii mara tena kushukuru MP wetu kwa kazi ambayo aliyoifanya ili kuhakikisha kuwa masomo yangu yanaendelea vyema. Kwanza nashukuru pia Mungu ambaye aliweza kumwezesha ama ambaye alimpa roho mzuri ya support wale ambao wakuna upungufu wa pesa.
Na nimekuja hapa ili anisaidie katika basari ya shule ili niende nikaendeleze masomo yangu katika shule yetu ya Mongori. Alafu mheshimiwa naye hakutuangusha bali amenisaidia katika kunisaidia na hiyo basari.
Mheshimiwa na mwakanire to mwako mugima na ndaka muimuki na bwate na nefe akamuimuki akamwira baka Nairobi na nero murigere tiri rube baka akalinyora ngo gwakira mbia mono na ndegendera gukonya abande
bono nigo enambenene ya boro kigwa bali bare and somoroberio bosoro ke club bali ne kibako egokeria maiga yokonyora cheki yera chikoba konya elikoira na aseskuru asetamu ya kabiri boripota ya egetaseni kia Ndizi TV korwa bunge ya South Mogrango eletaliane Mildred Momanyi.
Mia mono murikeito Mildred Momanyi ase oroboti ururikiranu Vincent ekiorokere bune kenigo kerekia kerabaro kyo bago segeto metene nchire mo yugo segeta ako bakora bako babe kumokia se chiskuru
Osero kia dima mono ya jago sengia lengo
mwaje murigere togotikana nayo nigo abana chintakana korwa sensemo ya Emborogo imeyara masha iwodi ya Masimba ebunke ya Mnyaribari Masaba bagokeire obokonyi ubabere bakonyora bintu au gati abe bitabu korwa se kyombekemo ekyo getari ya serikali
Omurikito Josephat ya Misi ni gekira nenseme yuna gosangana aborokyo na bayigo na bali bayikira na senseme yukunyara korwa bokonyi asenchire yoime buna tokomanyigwa
buna enchire yemo yokwenekia buna abana batabwati abaibuli na boigo bali batali kwenyara kurwa asechinga abanyariko bakwena no bokonyi nigo eskuru ya Emborogo ofanechi nyarete ko bayigo chakwa singicho gwikirania ekerengekyo yangorenga no mo director w'eskuru eyo Evans Nyamari
iga seriti koria rero atore ase Emborogo orphanage ego tokara masa location Masimba ward oyo no mochi okorenda abana chintakana bali batabwati omwe boli nonoyomo abana abameta somo chioyo matukonse batukono mugaso nigo bakonyora amasomo wetera somo chioyo banyora chindagera yani obomenyo ne chindagera
korengana na Nyamari nigo boigwanyare ko bagakoherera ngeskuru yenyare ko bagokonya abana asoboroso bw'echisemi nabo igo amaganio akirarituko
ikerengekene kiovaneche no konya abana banyore chisemi basoma primary secondary bakor secondary bagende university na college na polytechnic ama tukamutwe bache kwetenenera porobwa banyene baonchura magimabo na magima yabairi babo
bono nigo eskuru iyo nyara ko bagekogokera anene ogokonye nyara ko bagekonyora kurwa ase kiombe gya Forever Africa ise mo director Jacqueline Marwa abanyara ko bagwikirana ase semeyo na koina na obokonyi bwebintu gati yabo chindagera amone chianga.
We are happy to share with the kids patwacha to abanyora abana na abange bara tafadhali tokaja batebya abantu bari monsi mo cha moto bwatisi moto konye ko bwatisi abana abarema baenda chiskuru banyore ndagera banyora kirege to kiri omwana aragani omwana entakana to komanisha omwana uri utabwate obuyego kabisa abana aba they really need our help ende to wasaba bari monsi pimura atake gutokonya mochibokonya abana ndobwati mange lakini we are happy we have celebrated with the kids. We have done some mentorship with them and we really appreciate all those who have come on board.
Nikira bono mogokasa bagini bachire barero batare tukuria rero aba Forever kiombe kya Forever twegene nga alimu akore na alimu chikokora na konye ukini abana aba agabara chiko babanta uchugusyo byengenjo
asere tukuria rero ntore no mogoko ekiagera twatale rune kiombe gekorunga Forever Africa Power Data gekorawa noyo mentor director Jacqueline Marwa baletire bintebya asokonya chintakana baletire chindagera baletire ebitabu baletire sanitary towels igo batokonyire ebinto ebinge ntanyare kobarangora ase bono iga
onye nabo nigo oboteneneri bwe kiombe kiuge Forever Africa nabo igo oboteneneri bwe skuru yemborogo bwanyere koboria obokonyi bwa bene uchia ase skuru iyo erinde kobwaterana koenekia buna abana bwanyere bakonyora amagania bakira litiko gati yabo chindagera amo onechisemi
kugania konene abana barega chintakana baganeti amasomo. If we could get abantu bari baratokonya banyorechi school fees asa abana bari barechi high schools, abana barechi primary also, baganete banyore school fees so much. They also need other supports like ebitabu, chi uniform, ebikoroto, byospi, bibutakanete, biche school, bibakonye.
Getting as much funds together for these kids because truly every penny counts. So please, if you can, just donate whatever you need, whatever.
Wale wasaba batulikereti ase TV na batutagereta ase chiredio onde kwensi ora kunuga konya emborogo orphanage na aganeri.
Kuripoteri gutaseni Ndizi TV kurwa allocation ya Ramasha yegutuka Emayie constituency ya Nyaribari Masaba Emayie county ya Kisii eliterane Josephat Hamisi.
Miyamano murikeito Josephat Hamisi ase oroboti ururikiranu abamenyi korwa sensemo kianya binke bunge kitutu chache South County ya Kisii ane na baibuli na baoroki wari tkolia lero nigo beso kia bali nuguroro bonene asbaba gutagura enyasi eyagachire angene skuru
korengana na baibuli amana baoroki wabuni go bagotse una rientenyeri mo nigo rigeti konyara koiro boli mo bwe skuru egento kia batere konyara gotagura enyasi na gotse babuna mbali go chugwanchira no montonde bwensi konyara koiro oboli mo bwe serikali wego boli mo bwe skuru abanyakenyero nigo babwatsi abaibuli abuna gotse una ocha rientenyeri begri go seri go kurwa sense mejibuno muri kitondemo Steven agotumanya.
Emambia ya rero kibabwato moichano nigamenye Vincent ya Kenya vinge egesabeso kira kurubekana asekeri bagoteba nendemero ya skuru yo burose ya Kenya vinge erengete koiru no monchiri obene oyuaga chiraroro asama tukabwango iga
nigo tuwa kumiri sana asama tukamanga tutanya korra buli mugwe skuru bo guspiwa ono nigo ya ikiri twamanya konyoro umuntu ogori robule manda ande gatia twamanya konyoro usukiro almost 15 feet chi skuru koche getigati ono niga agachire nigo twarangeri gwa abana bachira bakorera maandamano abana ba rusirie gwole yarengo iyo manyeno ikonyora agitira ase skuru ime
ono kuichana kero muntu ngetaga neke gwole ni skuru ote okori mobu agi tusa omo macho otokonye ine serikali abana banyore yakia
nigo bagike iribo kongwe getambo kero kendemero ya skuru koirwa asabaganirie birengo bya serikali konyara gutukendemere yo na kubeko burabu asengane yo
omo wasiri bo education abwante bo ikaga ige skuru ye aligereria rorenga nga kie skuru eko urobole mona ekereche sie skuru irenga chibwena takoba egera tonyori chi boundaries nonde bwensi umanyito bwata nonde chi futi bere chie chobole mo bwe skuru abe tayari gusuka kurwororo
igo tukumetie obole mu bwaito bwatire we skuru obole mu bwaito no ekanisere no abana baito bagosoma omuntu yo tawurire bole mu mboya no ene sabana bakobeka none chicho bano le mirebo obesiri bakasi chicho chikwaneta kwagacho igo na affected obole mu bwatire bono tukumetie
skuru tali gento ge kouru bolemo ne skuru ne serikali era ule umwana inchi obole morakintali omuntu individual ogocha koure skuru obole
ekigetigarite bono no korege tambukero keria serikali ne birango bya ebiraire kugaya nengane yuo na koreto koigwana
ntoro chinga umaene mbororo to kokorire kero omuntu akoruisiko ocha gosukia obole mo bwe skuru ekinege ntokere kebigyo okumia nande kinege ntotachikuga nichinga kichonsi asobogima bwito asenge ncha abana baito no bagosoma abachukuru baito no bagosoma ande gatikabera aba bakwaga bako ure skuru obole no basometa abana babo no basometa babeire kibale bono bebire sibarule bono bachire ko ure skuru yina ande obole
agacha bono bikire gwali tu arwe to ore maro chentora machara ne skuru ne to gasamia abana bagare bakonya ande tutayete seki machagwaro ngane Wetera ikanisa musasi otinara gagocha kurigere. Ochere musasi otichiko bitaga. Mama go sama nino sana gocha kurigere agasali.
Obole mobo no bwe skuru ne kanisa. Na mone skuru kanisa nero yare te skuru. Te kunyare kanu obole mobo bwe kanisa ne skuru bogende. Abana ntutage to obole mobo itoboirwe.
Kuripoteria Ndizi TV kuruchense mochia Kianya Vinge ebunge ya Kitutu Chache South elietariane Ndemo Steven.
Mbiamono homurikito Ndemo Steven hasorobochirwa senchera ayoboye kerano umate barinya kero aboro kiwa na ndoroche na abana bakabeskuriyo buroso bagotagora inyasi timanyetina igobate ubatagore gose na abana biru batagore
na inde chinga kechi chonse korwe nyasi ye yagachitwe nkibare ngibakora taboro kyase skuru ina boiga baro kiwa
tesukurikira n'erisori ya gatatu totumerya kabeto erisori ya gatatu abana abani go basegetwa batagore nyasi ye barambare ko moka batagore nyasi ye tari mangana mwochumurikire bono aina yagena tokolekana ime yorogongo rwa Gusii tosoke go ikaisiko yorongo rwa Gusii tumaina lyagendete go kolekana umurai bwense William Samoei Ruto nigagenda tenetaro yaye asenseria Netherland sasa nara gukomera na bwatani anene aba unchoreria Ruto gukonna kura Netherland nigate birubuna na bwatu murubyo bene elikonyara gutinyo bwa mategati ense ya Kenya nenseria Netherlands
Ruto nigate baona nigo bagoche kogendera kubwatirana nensemeyo irikwene kyabunangu kinya bare uchumi na nene gukinya amangana yo bonchoreria no amateburubya nigo chinga kicha umerana gati yabo onchire kurwa sense meyu bali baligete konyara gokoro bonchori ya gocha iga sense ya Kenya aseruta batebu no kubwaterana ngoji comment wagati jinse chibere anasama ngana rengete bonchori na boigo na gokinya uchume.
The government of Kenya has put in place both fiscal and non-fiscal incentives that include, among many things, capital deductions on industrial building, sure you're aware of this, farm work, wear and tear, and investment. Others are in the special economic zones and export economic zones. And if you've been following the developments in Kenya, we are not only relooking at the incentives in our special economic zones and export economic zones, but we are also bringing on board another 5 special and export economic zones in Kenya. A specific intervention we have put in this budget is one thing that has always been problematic to our investors, and that is VAT tax returns. It's always been problematic. The decision we have made is that any VAT tax returns that are due and verified, if they are not paid within 6 months by our Kenya Revenue Authority, you are free to deduct whatever amounts from your other tax liabilities. You can pay us minus what we owe you, so that becomes easy. Because we've seen that in some cases, some of the tax refunds have taken a year, sometimes 2 years. So we have taken the liberty from KRA to pay when they want. We have told them they must pay within 6 months, and if they don't pay,
na gotigana na yo no mwancho murigere ni gobono mokonyi umure wense rigati gashangwa omera no ambassador kurwa senseri ya UK aiga Kenya Jen Mariota abwasa basanga na gukwana mange ana sentere yo konyara gutinyo bwa matobuya gati ya Kenya na UK
agokwana chinga kiecho gashagwa ni gatana nigo barigetie chinchera bene asoko bwatrana anena se orubebelua Somalia Ethiopia na boigo Kenya asemona ate babunamba chikoenekia okobwatrana no bwa matobuya bwabere bokoeneki wagati ense ya Kenya na boigo UK
engane ne gabuno kurigereria igoro bawuchigotinyo burendi gati chinse chia Kenya Ethiopia na boigo nenseria ya Somalia.
Northern Kenya is our priority in the sense that they are vast lands with great and huge potential for food security. If we can open up that area by doing roads, connectivity to electricity, and then dams and irrigation, we would, in a very comprehensive manner, address our challenges in this country. And that is the way to go. And we have lessons learned, Israel, the Middle East, all these deserts, through technology and very serious and prudent interventions, have been converted into suppliers of excess food for local consumption and for export. So we really want to appreciate the contribution of your government in trying to open up northeastern Kenya and northern Kenya, and we don't take it for granted. And for us, as we grapple with the challenges of the effects of climate change.
For a long time, Kenya and Ethiopia have been the two anchors of stability in your region. With the civil war in Ethiopia, Kenya has looked a little bit lonely at times, holding the fort of stability across the region. And so the thing that particularly excites me about this project is it's a time when you can export that stability into two of your neighbours and mutually reinforce each other at the national, the sub-national, but also the community level as you operate across the border. And I'm delighted that it's entirely the brainchild of Ben, who's also been here for 4 years, but is allowed to stay a bit longer. I'm not sure why he's allowed to stay longer than I'm not, but anyway. Well, maybe we need to job swap then. But Ben's put incredible work into trying to operationalise this. And I think we've discussed before the opening of the border when we were in El-Wak together, and how the formal reopening of the border, when it reaches that stage, will enhance that trade security and take the rug out from under the feet of Al-Shabaab, because they won't be able to do illegal revenue. They'll be spotted more easily going across the border.
Munyakirogo bwa bagavana asense moyo bochenu mudomi njukyo ibo ore umugavana we county ya Tharaka Nithi nigo aberega kumochie kyombekerie kubwatuka mariogo gya Kemsa asogote babuna nigo getari kubwatuka mariogo ase chinga kichibwena tegento kirire chinyagitari chinyinge kotabachi tabwati ya mariogo
korengana na mudomi njuki ni gate bire bune serikali baje kumukege tambokero kya wongo cha se kyombeke kyo kubwatuka mariogo Kemsa sogote babuna chinyagitari chinyinga ne che serikali njibwati mariogo isaine bona kogane kubwatana kobogati ya serikali na bwana serikali chichi county elitinyagetari chinyakotwara mariogo asenchera yobwango.
Our counties are suffering. They are suffering because they refilled it for Kemsa. The turnaround time for even delivery are wanting. We are talking about 2 to 3 weeks delivery. We are talking about refill rate of about between 55 and 70%. So why is Kemsa in such a situation? When we talk to them, they tell us that there's a big gap in Kemsa. Big gap because during COVID, they bought commodities that today are still lying in their stores but cannot be sold.
Financing for primary healthcare services guaranteed through a publicly financed primary healthcare services, the details of which will come as we go down, but we want to change so that primary healthcare services from community level to level 2 and 3 services, both at private, public and faith-based facilities in your counties, are offered through a capitation-based financing, specifically for primary healthcare financing.
Omuraibe kiama kia ODM Raila Amolo Odinga nigagenderete kumochia serikali ya Kenya kwanza sikira batebabuna nigo ikungaina ba Kenya asogo ikirania amagendro ayobatanya kurigereria
korengana na Raila Amolo Odinga nigatebiruna serikali ya Kenya kwanza chinga kichi campaign nigo bateba kuriya chira echo ikiraboni ga batrabago ikirane gati ya Raila Amolo Odinga kwe murunganire ikabono nigagatebuna serikali nigagenderete kubarusie bango abakoremera mu bya serikali gentanyarega kwa mirimono naboni gatebire buna no bachorete serikali ya Kenya kwanza ko bachi hasala niga serikali ya bangene tana gotebuno ikiraboni gaterekerane andonse ayasegentora iratebire buna niga genderete ko bachanda abamenyi anene abwatani abanene kurwa sensemo ya serikali.
Bill prepared by the Kenya Kwanza regime spelling out how they want to raise money in the 2023-2024 financial year is a piece of punishment that Kenyans should be deeply concerned about. We are shocked that anybody living in Kenya and who understands and appreciates what Kenyans are going through can come up with the taxation proposals the bill is making. It is even more shocking that a regime that promised to lessen the burden of the so-called hustlers, Mama Mboga, watu wa mjengo, can turn his back so soon on the same people. The tsunami of taxes in that bill will bury everyone, especially the jobless youth and the poor struggling down at the bottom. The bill is a promissory note to strangle and suffocate the hustlers from whose necks Ruto promised to remove the rope. We wish to make it clear from the outset that as a party, we will try our best to ensure that this anti-people budget is not passed by the National Assembly. In the event that Kenya Kwanza uses its hired majority and passes the bill as it is, we want the people of Kenya to understand that it is Kenya Kwanza's bill. It is the Kenya Kwanza's budget. It will be a Kenya Kwanza strangling Kenyans. We will instruct our members of parliament.
Na abawakiri baye omurandi Ezekiel kurasa kanisa ya New Live abono bale Clifford Beta na bayigona dansa no mari aseri tukulia rabono niko banyara kwegerera omurandi Ezekiel asogote abuna na mocha ekigambarugia kolete asoko nyara gosieka ekanisa yaye.
Pastor does not know how to feed the children tonight. It is terrible. It has never happened anywhere. A school account to be closed and children are there. It has never happened anywhere in history. And that is why we addressed the president and the deputy president that closing an account of a school is effectively or constructively closing the school. They have failed to close the church, so they have constructively closed the school. The orders I have seen here are purely for Kenyan accounts. It is not true that Pastor Ezekiel runs any foreign account. This is the Shakahola story to associate pastors as account as foreign. And remember, Pastor Ezekiel is not a public servant, is not a civil servant. He's a Kenyan, and Article 32 does not restrict the church from doing what it is doing.
They have frozen the accounts of the church. They have frozen the accounts of the pastor. At least if it is a pastor you wanted, you could have frozen his accounts. Anybody else by extension who benefits or does work for the church and the school is now locked out.
Mwanchi umulira libono wikiraga igani website kwa dotora koira asense moya kabere ye studio elio tomanyiwe amange korwa semanye chigosori.
Manye chigosori na Victor Sultan mwana ubangi wana tomanyi yango kurense Amerika okorama gote na sidisha nia.
Nipo siku.
Bemono Vincent Onyancha na Everline Osero kurwa sense mendo mwanchumulilia Emayie chigosori ime manye Jumatato ngoro ko Victor Sultan no ibobangi toya chakere sorgongo rwa Gusii abwase chigosori chia rugby 7 series chyo chaire tamatukabire cyanya takaba chigo ikomalo ritkorigoro abwase etimu ya Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology yaba ikolete etimu ya Kisumu RFC chiseti mirongo ebere na kianda asenoti nakoira obunyangongo goseko bugoli yage kombe kia chigosori echo.
catching.
Yabona umwancho muri ya kagendera bosio ase chigosori chinde chitimu aoni gocheso agati asegeti kia Kisii School lioko gosoria asege kombekia Robert Memorial Kapigati ye chitimu echo ngamona Keroka Legends Oyugis Veterans timu ya Kisii Boys nabayigo timu ya Reyes Matters korwase ensemo ya Migori timu ya Oyugis Veterans nigo yabwete ege kombekio wose tournament yo ga yokoba ka etimu ya Kisii wazeza asensemo ye penalty chigoli isano senye anene maiga yo soka makali yegolemo seyamo se round yentani gose asechita kemerongo kenda chego sori ya getime igosori choni go chigira cheko gendera kera omwaka karangana nabarigani abo batebre buna go chakira umwaka gocha abo boyimba chikonyora chilingi chiribwe 50 chilingi biro chiribwe 30 abo igo chilingi chiribwe 20 ase namba isato chintangani
Aserero nigo twabwate tournament ya Robert Memorial Tournament yo sireto renge Kisii waze one of our players tuwakire chige mcharenge chige mwinya luo modi Keroka waze Oyugis waze na Kisii waze so twabwa luo modi tuwache final no Oyugis bato wire chitana 5-4 so we congratulate Oyugis Veterans for the win. Tournament nejaga ndrekero mutienyo nekero mwaka Memorial ya Roba. Next year tournament nige kabwate 50,000 winner, 30,000 runners up, 20,000 third position. So tutaona vile tutatafuta team kwenye tournament ya wagaka wale above 35 years. Asante sana na Kisii High School watawali bageni nige team yao. Asante sana.
It's a good group of people that we get to know each other and also share so much. It's not just about football, it's like walking and building a team. So today's game was to remember our little brother who died last year. He's been a good friend of ours, and so we always do this to remember him.
Nchumulio tigana nayo ntaitengo ile wika ase ligi ya Kenya Premier League awase chikosori au chabetense aneneli tuko ligore timu ya FC Leopards ligo yabo ikorete timu ya Nzoia Sugar egolemo aserige na isegero timu ya Wazito kasoka makali yego tabekana goli endele timu ya Gor Mahia timu ya Auta Stars ikaenda makali yegolemo ase Emayie timu ya Nairobi City Stars Sofapaka kaba ikora kabandi Sharks golemo Significant Kipandai, Bongo Vichuri, Sana, Liberation Yamata United, Igoya Nalatosuku, and Inca as Kabukian Bianca, and I will correlate Timu Yapedico United, Chirisato as the Segero team ya Posta Rangers, Yaget Navanya KCB, Segero Tasca, Abubali Asari Kabere, Wakanyolera Egoli Avene ase gasori yabo egati yabo timu ya Kakamega Homeboys negati chigosori chie timu gose chie ligi ya Kenya Premier League chio cha negatigwe litko ligoro kumulekera sobo ime omwancho muligerie timu ya Tusker FC nigo bunana ikiro botebia yenyorete goli yabene ase ligi yo maiga yokobaka timu ya Kariobangisha goseka Kakamega Homeboys na kwenyora chipoint isato chengencho okinya point chabo ikachi point ya 50 moneyemo ase ligi yo ya Kenya Premier League asero ikirabono igabale na seri bagya kabere bakubwatia angekigima timu ya Gor Mahia twerera sabuango buna timu egati ose egasori egati ya Tusker amona Kakamega Homeboys ya Chiete. mwanchumulile oskabosio ase ligi osabwa bwa se ligi yo ya Kenya Premier League timu ya Gor Mahia nigo ya siretiri bagali abene yo konyora chipointi sato nago ikia chipointi 50 mona isano ne yemo kerobono batigalite ase chipointi 50 mona isano naisato ose chipointi 50 mona isato se ligi ya KPL okwana magaye gosori gati abone timu ya Wazito mo kocha monene bwe timu ya Gor Mahia manyakanite buna Jonathan Kingsley nigatebere buna anachikobe komokia ko ene kinga asego sori gocha egati abarabuo na mashemeji dabi achikobe komokia ko ene kinga ngobu abare gosori yo elio bagendere kora aseligi ya Kenya Premier League.
Like, there's part of us, you know, it's a hard-earned point. Obviously, you know, this is a venue that everyone knows is very difficult to go to. It's, you know, the crowd's right in on top of you. The pitch is tight. You know, it's a tough venue. And I thought we played well. I thought we coped up with the atmosphere well. I thought we created a good number of chances. It's another point towards our total. And, you know, we now have it, you know, recover and we move on to the next game, which is obviously the derby. But I thought the guys did well with it. You know, they worked. Obviously, it's disappointing. We wanted to have 3 points, but overall, I thought, you know, it was a well-earned point. Yeah, no, absolutely. I think now the Mashemeji Derby, obviously in a week's time, so it's about getting back to Nairobi this evening, and we'll go straight back. About them getting recovered, sort of just re-energized, which we'll do. And yeah, the guys are eager for it. You know, Nyayo, big open spaces, and I think